Back to Chaos Corner with me, Constance Monet. I know, we haven't had a FaceTime in a while, but I've been having to get some notes on some stuff, let some things happen in the world, let a little bit of chaos come into my life. I've been a little calm and relaxed and only paying attention to my babies. Also, I have been very sick and I've been just trying to work through that. And the last time we talked, my voice was going out. It didn't get better before it got worse. Okay. Just remember it didn't. Okay. But hey, everybody. Thank y'all for coming back. Thank y'all for listening to me and my chaos. So we're going to get right into it. Y'all ready? Cause I heard something this morning that triggered a whole crazy. Okay. The first thing I want to talk about, if you guys see me looking down, it's just my notes. Okay. But the first thing I want to talk about is I saw online, and I've been seeing online, a lot of people who are now adults. And if they have kids, I don't know. I'm not going to figure it out. But a lot of them are having these conversations around other adults who have gone no contact with their parents. And from what I've seen, these are the same people who had good parents. In the context of people who listen to them, the reason they're up here saying all of this is because they didn't experience what other people who are now adults who were raised by these adults who they're no contact with ever experienced. They have no idea. And they also wouldn't believe what you went through because that wasn't their reality. And so it's very triggering to me when I hear them say, it's inappropriate. Like, you have no idea what your parent went through. That's not my responsibility as the child. It's no one's responsibility as the child to give a flying fuck about what your parent went through while they were supposed to be raising you. You know why? Because as adults, no one cares what we're going through. No one ever cares. The people who care. And I have kids. And my kids are not responsible for maintaining my happiness or my emotional incapacities or anything else that I'm going through. Not even their dads, like not being around. Like, that's not their responsibility. None of it is their responsibility, nor are they responsible for maintaining relationships with people that harm them. I would never teach them that. And I think it's crazy that people are like, I'm just so tired. That's what's wrong with the generations in the world. No, what's wrong with the generations is that people can't get over the fact that shit is supposed to change. Yes, 3 generations before us, um, we were living, especially as Black people, in a space where adults had no time to teach you. Why? Because you could be hung in a tree, baby. You, as their baby, could be put into a tree, have your body parts cut off on a Sunday where white people were having picnics. Okay. Um, and you never see your baby again. So you didn't have time to understand how they felt or what they were thinking. You just knew how to teach them, how to raise them, and how to get them into a space where they were safe. And that is considered adulthood. Okay. Also, you couldn't maintain those kids once they were an adult because most of those people had no real steadfastness. No, they didn't have good footing. And you could tell the difference of people who at that time had good footing because they have generations set up. Their grandkids were fine. Their grandkids were parented when their parents had them early and went to work and things like that. Different things like that happen. But the ones who weren't. And even what people call good parents, sometimes you don't live in that house. That wasn't your mom and your daddy. So people should learn to keep their mouth off of other people's relationships. Period, point blank. And if we move forward, this generation and our parents' generation, which would be Gen X, because yeah, I'm a millennial, so I'm Y2K. So Gen X or whatever, that generation, they did have the opportunity to better parent us in the late 80s, mid 80s, even during the crack epidemic. It was an epidemic because people had money, people had things, and life was changing. And the 90s came, and the 90s were different. And the 2000s came. So people had options comparative to where they were. Okay. Everybody didn't have a grandma to help. My grandmother passed away when my mom was about 22 or something like that. And I had to have been four or so, five, maybe four-ish. Um, and so my mom didn't have her mom to help raise us when she couldn't do it. Nor did she have a springboard of people to help her process what was going on in the world for her as a Black woman when her mom was gone. Okay. So she only had what she had. And I accept that. I understand that. But I also remember the rest of it because I only now, as a mom in my late 30s, like I understand I only have what I have, but I have a relationships with people so that I have springboards because my children are not my personal springboard. And when I became an adult, I had to realize and learn, oh, wow, this isn't normal how I grew up. I'm not supposed to be responsible for everybody and everything all the time. That I'm not even a mom. That shouldn't even be a characteristic of me. And there are people in this world who go through way worse stuff in this world with their parents. Two parent households and single parent households. They both do the same amount of damage if the adults are broken inside of the home. Okay. And to watch adults who've never experienced anything like that open their whole mouth and say, you're a bad person for going no contact with somebody who abuses you, mental, physical, emotional, all of it is abuse. So if they tell you ugly from the time you born until you 18, they emotionally and mentally abused you. Because by 18, now it's indoctrinated in who you are. Now you don't feel pretty. Now you out hoeing, but now everybody want to blame you for hoeing. Not knowing what's happening. Your parents sell you off and use you to make money because you the young light thing or the young extra beautiful brown girl or whatever it is. If they use you in a way to make money and you become a prostitute, bro, like it's their fault. It's not yours. Because you can't be trained in something and then expect it to just change after the fact. And when you do grow up and you say, no, I don't ever want to have a relationship with these people, there's always going to be somebody in a corner who has never been sold, who has never experienced this, sitting over there saying, oh, that's not good. You only have one mom and one dad. Well, they only got one me. And they were willing to sacrifice me and throw me to the devil. Literally put me under a truck and let men run all over me. And nobody kept me safe. Nobody protected me. So now what? So now I'm supposed to be like, oh, they can only do what they could do. Okay, well, now this is what I can do to protect myself. And I'm going to leave it there because y'all see my cheeks. They're getting redder and redder. That triggers me. It just triggers me. Okay? Okay? And to piggyback off the parenting thing, I'm a single mom of two. Okay? If I had a different option with the other parent, then I would do something different. But I saw Kanye, of course, going on a rant. And I like Geminis personally. I think that they are very dramatic, yes, but usually because something's happening, not in general. In general, they just themselves and whatever they want to do, they're going to do. But when it comes to the things they love and the things they believe in, they jump off the roof. And Kanye was jumping off the roof about Kim having sole trademark over her children until they turned 18. And what she swears on is only one person can have a trademark. That's a lie. We have more than Google to go and look this shit up. You can look on the trademark website. As many people collectively that has anything to do with any idea that you want to trademark can be on a trademark. So I think it should be illegal, especially because they have a very intricate divorce agreement and child support agreement that was created for people to be able to do things like that because they're upset. They're upset. You take rights and ownership to a child that you then want another person to be there with you to take care of. And I say that because I do everything by myself. So, and I don't get child support. So everybody can jump the fuck off that shit. Mind you, the state put child support on one of the parents and I still don't get child support. Okay. So let's keep it clean because nobody has to do anything they don't want to until they go into jail. Then they want to be on your line, but whatever. I do it all by myself and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with doing it by myself. Is it hard? Yes. Is it frustrating? Yes. Would I like a secure partner to help me balance me so that I can do better at balancing my kids? Absolutely. Do I want anyone in their life who doesn't want to provide for them, make sure they're having a good way of life, make sure that we are balancing out what they're learning, how they're learning, and the information they need to have? Of course I would love it. Do I mind not having it? No, because I'm also a bossy person. I'm the eldest first. I'm always been somebody's boss. I've been bossing people around since I was born. Okay. So for me, I think God made my situation this way because I don't know if I do well with another person telling me what to do about the kids. Like, I just don't know if I would do well at all. Like, I really believe for me, I would be flying off the roof sometimes. I would be like, you have got to be outside of your mind. But it's also because people live two different lifestyles. They know different things. And I'm bossy. See? Right? I don't think God did anything wrong to me by making me a single mom. I appreciate my children. I love them with my whole heart. And I love being a mom more than I love being a woman in this world. Okay? Secondary to being black. Being black is first. And then it's being a mom. Okay? Being a woman is cool. I like being a woman. It's cool. But scary, dangerous, but it's cool. Um and I think that that's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous for everybody who has a secondary parent and they want to be a part of the child's life, and because you two can't get along or you want to have something to like pull strings with the other person, to use anything about the kids. That's rude. To take away trademarking rights. I would sue her personally. And Kanye's petty, so he is going to sue her. He's also going to release probably every single thing else he's never released that he's holding on to. Because if y'all remember his old albums, his cousin stole his laptop that was like a decade and a half old that had sex tapes on it and blackmailed him for it. So he is a consumer of hoarding, okay? And he's maybe not a hoarder because I don't know him personally, but he likes to keep things, especially information. I'm also the same way. I got text messages from 2000, okay? So, I understand that, but I think it's weird that you have a person who wants to parent with you, but because you don't like it or you don't want it, the way that they want to give it to you, you're just like, no, no. But then you want to call yourself a single mom. You're not. You're not. Selfish? Yes. Stingy? Yes. Petty? Yes. Trying to get some kind of acknowledgement for kicking your good baby daddy to the curb? Yes. But a single mom? No, you're not. You're absolutely not. You ain't in that house raising them kids all by yourself, except for by choice, because you're choosing to use the law and the courts to make sure the other person who wants to do it can't. That's all I gotta say about Kanye. All right, let me go to my next ball of crazy. Okay. Um, this is 2 points. Okay. I think that we have to, as adults, pay attention. Just pay attention to what is actually going on, not just what we hear, see, and are experiencing, but like the bigger picture. And I know everybody's not a bigger picture person, and that's okay. That's okay. That's why you got me. That's why you got me. Critical thinking. You understand? I'll think about it for you and I'll smack you in the face with it. And then you do whatever you need to with that information, right? But we got to pay attention because the internet has made the world believe. Everybody wants to say the youth, but the whole world believe that you go from college or high school graduation, get on the internet, and you could be a millionaire. And it's easy and it's simple and it's going to be comfortable and you're going to be happy. But you don't get to see the behind the scenes of what's going on, right? Pay attention to who these people become after. Not the money, like after there's no more of whatever the scheme is or whatever the job is or whatever the thing they sold at the time, right? Also get comfortable with being in turmoil. change, turmoil, frustration, if you really, really want something. The hardest thing for me is to convince people that my freedom means more to me than the outside perception of what people want to see for me. And what I mean by that is my little brother has visually outside everything all together. Graduated and it's 4 years or 4 years and went straight after that and got his job and then got his wife and then he had his baby and it's all lines, right? But I know this person on the other side. And I remember what it was taking to do all of these things. And I remember the journey of what it took, right? Me, on the other hand, I tried everything. I did everything. I'm not sticking to nothing that don't want to be stuck to me. Education was never my very first line of defense. I did not want to go to college. I went to the military. I became a Marine. Okay. And I lived that dream as long as I could. And once it was snatched, I had to refigure it out. But guess what I didn't do? I didn't die because I had to figure it out. Because I was okay with being free. It was fine. It's fine. I'll try anything to make sure that I'm doing the thing that makes me happy in this life because I have to die with me. I gotta wake up and look at myself in the mirror. It's another reason like why I've been recording like makeup lists and without my lashes and everything. Eventually they're gonna come back. Don't y'all worry. But a lot of it is I have to be able to look at myself in the mirror and I don't care how y'all feel about how I look. Oh, well, because I think I'm beautiful. And anybody who thinks anything outside of that, that's your insecurities on the inside of you and all of your hurt pieces and all the bad things people have told you over the years about how you're not beautiful. That's not my responsibility to make sure that you feel a certain kind of way or to care about how you feel about me. Also, when it comes to the visual of how my life looks, I do have 2 kids and I am a single mom. Okay. I did go to college. And I did not finish. Took a bunch of breaks, had some kids, did a bunch of things, traveled the world, did all of these things that some of my peers at that time still have not done in their lives. Right now. After all the education and all the working and all the money and they still don't have time to take off and go do something they want to do. Like death isn't forthcoming. Okay. So for me, what I need to be free is different from what other people need to be free. And how my life looks is very concerning to some other people because it's not the perfect line of this and this and this. It's not the I got married and had my kids and da 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 da. Marriage does not solidify 2 working parents together who build good children. I'm from a 2-parent household and I'm fucked up. Okay. So that is not a solidification that you're going to have a great life. None of that is. Nothing makes sure unless you're actively making decisions that are for you, about you, and for your future. Even when you add people into those decisions, if you are not choosing you, it will still crumble and fail. The difference in what people don't see is they look at my little brother and my little sister and say, oh my God, they did everything right. Yes, because they chose them the entire time. Choosing yourself looks different in so many ways. And for me, it's choosing my freedom. It's choosing not to be tied to things that don't matter to me. It's choosing not to be stressed out going to a job and these people disrespect me. And I keep going because I got to pay rent. No, I just made other decisions. I changed things. I invested. I do a bunch of things. I know 100 ways to make money and all of them are legal. Okay. So like there's a way to do anything. The problem is everybody wants the easiest way. It is hard to get through college. If you smart or not, it's hard to get through college. It is hard to have a job that you hate just to save money. It is hard to save if your job is only paying you enough to eat food this week. It is hard to have a dream. Baby, you're going to suffer 100% of the time with a dream. Oh my God, it's the hardest thing to do. And yes, it does look beautiful on the outside and easy, but even in the dream, it is still very hard. I didn't dream of anything more except for having a family. And having a family makes me so happy because me and my children, Ain't nothing better. There's nothing in this whole world better, except feeding them, because they always hungry. But there's nothing better to me. So it's always a great experience. It's always feeding me. I'm feeding them. It's always a back and forth of energy and communication and just teaching and learning, because I'm also learning from them. I'm not raising them in the same environment I grew up in. See, all of it's hard. But when people see me on the outside, they're like, oh my God, you make being a mother of two look so easy. Wonderful. I make it look easy. It's really hard, because some days, like I said, I was sick. I couldn't work. I couldn't record and work, but I had to be a mom. I had to be a mom. I had to get up sick and crawl to the dang kitchen and cook food and crawl back to the bed. Well, my babies crawled on the floor right next to me, and they not little babies; they big kids. Let me keep it kidding. They kids. So they're like, "Come on, mom, we're gonna crawl by you," because they're supporting me and they don't even really understand, but they're doing for me what I did for them and what I continue to do for them. And so we have to get out of the lucid dream that we're gonna get to happy or freedom or just general peace without hard things smacking us in the face, without a bunch of change, without a bunch of different moments where we almost don't have anything and we almost at zero. And here comes God. Like, it only works that way. When you want something, you have to go through the trials or the journey of it to get to it. And we got to pay attention to that, because if we don't, you're never going to get it. You're going to sit stagnantly in a place and be the most unhappy you could ever be, because nothing's worse than where you are. Nothing is worse than where you are or where you've been. The future is not worse than where you've been, because that already hurt. And in the future, you can make sure to pad yourself. Put on your covered padding, your Teflon, your Kevlar, whatever it is you need. But you can put that on in the future, because you know what could come. But if we do nothing, we stay stagnant. Lives will be stagnant. You will be miserable forever, and you will be pulling down all of the things around you, saying that somebody didn't and people didn't and da 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 da. And just accept that to have something, it's going to be hard. It is. Also, don't let people stand in your way. Don't let things, let me not just say people, don't let things stand in your way. When one door closes, the truth is there are 1,000 other doors. So walk into those and see if you like what is in those rooms. Like I said by myself, I tried everything. Everything. I don't care what it is. If I've never done it, I don't hold a grudge against it. Okay. I ain't never done it. There are places I've never been. And I don't know if I want to ever go back. There are places I've been and I won't go back to. They beautiful, but it ain't for me. It's not my thing. I don't care if 1 billion people say, oh, this is the best vacation spot ever for you, not me. Don't let one person who, especially, I've seen this a lot in relationships, like when y'all break up, or in racism, when they say, oh, I don't want your money, or I don't want you here, Black person. Like, the idea is that the ex or the racist thinks that you're going to leave out the door and that's going to just shut down your everything. No. There's another man or a woman. Trust me. They looking for you. You standing over there in that window looking at him or her, wasting your time, because they don't want you. That racist store, that racist venue, why are we arguing with these people? Why are we jumping out the window about that? Why? I said this the other day on Instagram. I'm not upset about the Department of Education. I've been homeschooling my kids since my son was school age, okay? He done been to public school. I had to pull him out. It sucked before Donald Trump was there, okay? Why are we concerned about all the people who are going to get fired instead of just coming together, getting those teachers information, finding other students who are willing? Hey, how much were you making? Don't worry. Listen, if we can get a couple of classes for you all day where you get to teach what you would like and do these things, because why stay on curriculum when we know the Department of Education curriculum sucks anyway and it's failing? Why not just pull these educators, these principals, anybody who want these counselors into positions so that we can personally use them and build community again? The village works. Everybody who thinks it doesn't, y'all are failing in this life. And look at how individualism is failing us as a whole entire culture, as a whole entire country, as a whole entire world. Okay? The village will always work because there is enough people there to feed into the small humans who are coming up so that they can see an array of different things. And also so we can keep going. There's no reason to be teaching kids, not to be teaching kids, excuse me, things that doctors and nurses know already. Kids should know how to tourniquet. Kids should know all the things that we are learning as adults late because something has happened. Why aren't we just pulling these people together? Oh, you're a doctor and you got free time to come to the school. Yeah, we're gonna go out to this field that's open and no one owns it and there's no state anything, or buy some property. You have an empty field, have classes. Why not? Split that thing down. Have these kids over there parachuting and learning this, and have gym and have outside and build a freaking cover and have classes. Allow these people to do. Why are we worried about what coffee shops don't want us? Make a coffee shop. Go door to door and sell your little coffee. I prefer people in small businesses who are investing their heart into something well over a corporation trying to get my money. Period. I prefer mom and pop over a corporate anything. Period. I love what we call in black culture hole in the walls. I love them. What? Best food I ever had in my life? Because it's always somebody grandma in the bed. I mean, cooking. Grandpa back there cussing about people, serving trays quicker than you ever seen. Why? Because he been doing it since he was little. She been doing it since she was little. This is their thing. This ain't even about learning it. This is just cultural living in life for them sometimes. Why are we worried about when one door closes when there's a field outside and we can create another event? We can create another venue. We can create the same exact thing and make it better. And we know that from the Black Panthers, if y'all would go back and read, but most of y'all don't. Because the only reason America has WIC right now is because of the Black Panthers. After police went in there and peed all over their stuff, and then they just got more and kept giving black kids in the neighborhood who didn't have enough food because welfare doesn't do anything for the world. It does. It does for the people who can get over. And we're learning right now who those people are because they bitch moaning and complaining online because they never had to live their life regular because DEI is gone. Okay. So like, it doesn't matter what door closes. Walk to the next door. Go build a goddamn door. Like, it ain't that hard. Get a piece of wood, cut them edges. I don't care if it's straight. No one cares. Does it close and does it open? That's all we need. Make new schools, make new stores. Let's stop depending on things just because it's easy and start creating. That's the problem now is everybody's taking away because of computers and AI the idea of creation. Be creative. We're teaching the computer how to be creative, and yet y'all act like y'all don't know how to do nothing out here in this world except whine because the white people are taking things from us. Okay, if there's 1,000 black doctors, why don't they come together and have a string of connective tissued hospitals, small ones, mobile ones? At this point, we could mobily do every fucking thing. Not even, I won't even say not open heart surgery because let you be stuck in the middle of the woods or in a mountain with a doctor and a knife and some tools to sew you up, and they will replace your damn heart with a lions outside. Okay. And a few pieces of ice off the mountain. So we could do whatever it is we choose to. We have to be adults and we got to start choosing it. And we have to let go of this easy and simple idea and get to okay, I'll wait, I'll create, we can do ourselves. Because the complaining ain't going to get us nowhere. I mean, it'll get you enslaved. It will. People have been enslaved to the dollar all the time in the world. And people don't realize that before the 1920 stock market, white people were so enslaved, stock market crash, excuse me, white people were so enslaved to the dollar, Asian people, Italian people, all of the other races of people who were here were so enslaved to the dollar that the white man was taken from them that when the stock market crashed, go back and look at those pictures and see how many black people you see in those photos. because those white banks would not accept our money. We were the only ones who had money because we wasn't enslaved to the dollar and what people wouldn't give us. We just made our own stuff. It crashed. They crashed everything. And think about it. After that, 1930s, 1940s. That's why white people were so mad, burning down all of our neighborhoods, drowning them out, because how dare y'all have money and still be able to do shit? And we, as the elite white people of the world, said nobody was going to have anything. Well, you didn't even accept our stuff. So why are we still complaining? And we know that the roaring 20s really happened for black people. We know that there are towns, the 30s and the 40s really happened for black people. And now we have enough money, enough guns, and enough everything else to protect ourselves, make our own police departments, and do all of this stuff, because now we know all of the functioning systems and how everything needs to work to make sure to control our own. Stop complaining and start doing. Just stop complaining and start doing. And I'm going to close it at that, y'all. Gem of the day, y'all know what it is. Let's use our critical thinking skills. Let's stop complaining and just start doing. Because if you're not doing nothing, then you ain't benefiting nothing. So I don't want to hear your complaints. I don't care who you are, from the baby mama all the way to somebody losing their job. I don't care. Baby daddy too. The person who just got put off of whatever government assistance. If you're not doing something, I don't want to hear your complaints. Nobody wants to hear your complaints. Do something. Make it happen. Let's change things a little bit at a time. And using our critical thinking skills will help us continue on in this world. Okay? So you guys have a wonderful day. Thank y'all for FaceTiming with me today. Glad to be back. And I'll see you guys next time. I really overworked myself last month. I put out pump, and I realized like that was so hard for me to do. So I am working on creating my best content, and not perfect content. When I have the energy, when I'm really feeling it and I'm really doing, and even when I'm not really feeling it, when I have topics to talk about, because like I said, this is sheer chaos. So y'all understand, I am here. I am not going anywhere. I'm here until the Lord says it's time for me to go. And that ain't going to be till I'm 115. Okay. So y'all got a long time to be hearing my chaos in my mouth. Okay. But you guys have a wonderful day. And I'm going to be FaceTiming soon. Okay. And you guys will be back in the chaos corner with me. Okay. Bye.